Hello, and thank you for joining me. So, today I'm going to be talking about the 8 essential steps to ensure a successful recruitment, selection, and placement process. So, never mind me, my eyes drifting down now and then. It's because I just want to refer to my notes and I just want to capture everything that I've prepared and ensure the accuracy of what I'm going to be discussing today. So I'm going to be talking about recruitment as mentioned, but I'm going to be talking about the bigger umbrella of recruitment with different essential important elements underneath it. So I'm not going to be discussing each and every one of them in too much detail, but just a little bit of detail so that you understand what it's all about. But each of the elements that I'm going to be discussing today, I will elaborate on them further in the coming sessions or coming weeks. Okay. So the first one that I'm going to be talking about under the 8 essential steps to ensure successful recruitment, selection, and placement, it is success profiling. So what is success profiling? So success profiling is a scientific tool that you use to encourage maximum fit between employee and the job required. So a success profile exercise would require, say, 2 to 3 subject matter experts, which are people that have knowledge about the job that you're trying to recruit for. And then also a success profiling expert, which is a person that is trained or skilled in doing success profiling. So that is what you would need for success profiling. So a success profiling assists you in identifying the competencies and the motivations that are essential for a candidate to be successful in the position that you're trying to fill. So that is the first essential step when it comes to successful recruitment, selection, and placement. And then the next step is a job description. So a success profile feeds into a job description. So a job description outlines for an employee what is required for them by the company or by their employee. So a job description then would feed a job advert. So without a job description, it would be difficult to draft a comprehensive job advert that would ensure that you get quality candidates applying. So I see a job advert as casting a net into a sea of the marketplace full of applicants and then making sure that that job description or that net catches the right candidates or the ideal candidates, so that you have so that you're spoiled for choice, for a lack of a better word. So that is an importance of a good job advert. And then the fourth essential step is pre-screening. So after you have received all those applicants from your good, well-placed job advert, you would need to do a pre-screening. So you just check the CVs that you have received against the job advert that you have placed to see if they meet the minimum requirements. And then after that, you would do a telephonic pre-screening, maybe to check things like salary expectations to see if they're in line with the salary offers that you're offering for the position that you are that you have advertised for. And then the fifth one is interviews, which is also still a pre-screening process. So interviews can be defined as conversation between job applicant and employer representative to assess further suitability. So as the interviewer, you assess the suitability of the job applicant for the position and for the culture of the organization to ensure that you get a perfect fit. Okay, so that is the fifth essential step. And then the sixth essential step to your recruitment, selection, and placement process would be the pre-employment checks, So there's a blog that I wrote on the 7 most important pre-employment checks and why each and every one of them is important. As mentioned, that these elements that I'm discussing now, I'm just going to be touching on them, and then at a later stage, I'm going to discuss them in more detail, create video content for them, and discuss them and elaborate on them in more detail. Okay, so going back to our 6th essential step, which is pre-employment steps. What you can take away from this step is that a bad hire can be very costly for the organization, and it can also tarnish the reputation of the company should a person that has questionable background or a criminal background be found in an organization and they commit something that actually compromises the image or the reputation of the organization. So it is important to ensure that you do thorough background checks when you're employing people, but also the type and quality of reference checks that you do will depend on the seniority of the position and the nature of the position that you're trying to recruit for. And then the seventh essential step to the recruitment process is the placement onboarding. So placement onboarding, this is a process that helps new hires to get adjusted to the organization, to get adjusted to the social and performance aspects of the organization. So a good onboarding process, preferably automated, will help this process to run smoothly and quickly, like without any glitches. And then the last step of recruitment is probation management. So even though the person is already inside your company, but this is a step that will help you to assess if you made a right choice by employing the particular candidate. And also I've discovered that this step also helps the employee to identify if they have made a right decision in joining your organization. I know with the employment scarcity in South Africa, it's hard to believe that actually a candidate would think that they made a wrong choice in joining an organization, and after 3 months say, no, thank you, this is not for me. But it does happen. It has happened to me when I started my first job in HR as a management consultant. So I remember when I started and they were telling me about the probation period. So they said to me, the probation period is also an opportunity for you to assess the organization, if is this the kind of organization that you'd like to belong to and that you see yourself growing into. So I remember at the time I thought there's no way I can say, no, this organization is not for me when employment is so scarce for graduates, because I was a fresh graduate with no experience. But surprisingly, after 3 months, actually, I think 3 days before the 3-month period expired, I went to the managing director at the time. I told him that, look, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for investing in me. But this is definitely not my kind of environment. And I remember I left with nowhere to go. But God being gracious, I found another job. I think in 3 days' time or so, I found another job as a human resources officer. So yeah, basically those are the 8 steps, essential steps. Actually, each and every one of them is critical to make sure that you recruit the right person for the right job, for the right organization. So I'll just mention those 8 steps again. So the first step, it is job profiling, and then it's your job description, and then it's your job adverts, and then it's your pre-screening, and then it's your interviews, and then it's your pre-employment checks, and then it's your placement onboarding, and then it is your probation management. So those are the 8 essential steps when it comes to successful recruitment. So should you wish to find out more about this topic, please do not hesitate to contact us at Nxusa Human Resources Management. Our contact details are telephone number 010-007-5245, and then our email address is info@nxusahr.co.za. And thank you for listening. Cheerio, bye.